MO Wizard here, guys. Just want to talk about the Texas church shooting. Um, those guys did a great job of stopping the scumbag. But, you know, if they had thought more of it, thought more into the security, I think it could have been stopped in a different way. Uh, Here's why. Because from what the video that I've seen looked like, these guys were part of the church. They were concealed carry holders. They had thought about it, and they probably talked about it amongst themselves or, a certain group. And they were like, yeah, we'll carry. It's okay, we'll carry, and we'll defend us if necessary. And that's exactly what they've done. But the video showed that they wasn't properly prepared for it. When your job includes security, that needs to be your only job and your only focus. You can't be involved in security when you're occupied doing other stuff. Participating in church activities and stuff. That's not being focused on security 100%, being aware of what's going on, be aware of your surroundings. And if they were, I think this could have and would have made the outcome different. Because, from what I've been trained, and, I've not had a lot, but I've had a little bit. And if I thought I was would have been involved in this before this happened in this church, I believe that I could have changed the outcome. It wouldn't have happened exactly the way it did. Because, like I said, you need to be focused on security. If that's your job, your duty, you need to be focused on that. And you need to be trained up. You need to run drills, scenarios. You need to have people placed in certain areas. And they cover certain zones, certain sections, and that's all they do. You need to have communications. From what I've seen, if this guy, one example, if these people that were packing was only there for security at that day and that time, they were prepared with proper gear, like body armor and stuff. You don't have to be tacked out. There's all kinds of body armor these days that you can wear underneath your clothes. And, Secret Service do it all the time. And they dress in suits and everything. So you mean something like that, trained up, prepared, maybe even open carry other stuff, tools and stuff, and communications, and be alert of what's going on. And do your job as security and not, half-assing your job as security and thinking, well, I'm going to look out. If something happens, I'm going to defend it. I'm going to help out, but I'm going to participate in the church. I'm going to pray and read the scripture and read along and everything else. That's not how security works. You focus on security and security only. But if they'd had different people, in different areas, purpose for security, inside and out, properly trained communication, they're on the same page, wearing body armor protection. When that guy had pulled that shotgun and was trying to shoot or threaten the other guy or whatever he was doing at the moment, and the other guy was trying to fumble with his gun, didn't get it out quick enough, for one, and for two, he didn't move. He didn't, you shoot, move, and communicate. He should have try to pull that weapon and move back at the same time, move to the side, make the shooter have to move and chase him. But no, he was trying to fumble with his weapon. I do believe he got it out, or said screw it. One, his hand came back around to the front. It didn't even make it up. It was along with his body whenever he was shot with the shotgun. And then he turned to the closest guy and shot him. And then he moved up to the front a little bit and changed directions, fired another shot. At the same time, the other guy in the back fired a shot and took the scumbag out. So there was total like 4 shots fired. But, if their job was security and they was focused on security, my first alarm was, you know, who is this guy? Was he there before? Why is he dressed that way? It's not proper for him to dress that way in the church. So that was my number one red flag that I seen in the video. I was like, how can these people have security and, not confront this guy, not check this guy out? That's what I would have done. That's what we would have been trained to do. Anything, we would have pulled this guy to the side, and there'd been two or three of us. They would have been two or three of us on this one guy, and we would have communicated, hey, we got a code, whatever. I need you up here to assist me. And there would have been at least 2 to 3 people on this guy and would have been like, hey, look, come here. What's your purpose here? Who are you? Why are you dressed this way? We appreciate that you want to come to our church and that you want to go to church, and you're welcome. But our procedures and policies are that we have to get to know you. We need to identify you, and the way you're dressed, now we need to search you or you may leave, and if there's anything going down, guns would have been drawn, people would have been tackled right then and there when he started reaching for that shotgun. That's what I would have been trying to train people to do, and I would have done in the situation. I don't know if this guy had been going there for a few days, few months, or whatever, trying to blend in, trying to, might even been trying to get right with Christ and decided, it's not worth it, I can't do it, I'm just going to kill the people at the church, I have no idea, but anyway, from what I'm seeing, I don't think it was that case. I think it was just they were opening hearted and open doors to people, and they come in with lack of security, and it went down the way it did. I may have been wrong. He may have been there for a while, but that's your first job as security, is to check everything out. If it don't look right, don't sound right, it probably ain't. So investigate it. Be like, you're welcome, but we're going to have to know who you are. You're probably going to have to change, maybe next time. But right now we need to search you, and if you're not willing to do that, then you need to leave, because our safety is more important than walking a stranger in at that moment, because we've got people in here, we've got kids, and that's our job. So if you don't want to abide by that, you're going to have to leave the premises. Follow the necessary steps to make that happen. But like I said, if they would have done something like that and been involved in it more, and confronted this guy with, multiple people, tried to figure out this guy, like I said, searched him and made sure he was good to go before he just sits there and what he was wearing, the situation would have happened differently. Because like I said, if we'd have confronted him and he decides to pull that out on us, and we've got 2 or 3 people there, trained up hands-on techniques, firearm techniques, one of us may have been able to tackle him, grab the shotgun, work as a team to get this guy without him having to be shot or anybody else being shot. So, be alert, be aware of your surroundings, and always, if your job is going to be required into security, that you take it 100% upon yourself to do everything possible to keep the situation safe. Because, I think they failed to do that. But if a little bit more thought was put into this and a little bit more training, I believe the situation could have been different. It could have been confronted outside, it could have been different. They could have shot a security member or something. But like I said, you need to be properly prepared for that as well. Have body armor at least, being able to take some rounds, protect your vital organs. Looked like the scumbag didn't even have no training. Probably had never shot that before. So, because when he fired the first shot, looked like he had his hand on the foregrip of it, and his gun came up off his hand from what I've seen, and he wasn't prepared for that recoil and stuff. So I don't think he's ever shot a gun in his life. He may have shot other guns, but not a 12 gauge shotgun or whatever that was. but it looked like it came up off his hand. So I mean, that he didn't have a proper grip. So I mean, he wasn't either ready to fire, he didn't know what he was doing. And so we have advantage if we do know what we're doing. So we need to take it upon ourselves to do that. But good work, and always be prepared for the unknown. Don't matter what it is. So, especially if your job is security, you need to take that 100% and do that job to the best of your ability. Not half-ass it. Mo Wizard out.